You mentioned being a Denver native, and you get DU in your own building. What's that kind of be like? How much knowledge do you have of that program?
A lot, just because growing up there, I saw them go from Division II to Division I, so there was a lot of history. If you enjoy basketball, they were in the RMAC, and then now they're in the Summit, which when I was at South Dakota. But Coach Turgeon, he's done a really good job. This is year 2 for him. He's brothers with Mark Turgeon, who's at Maryland, but he started out as a junior college coach in Kansas, and I recruited from him to Iowa, and then to Pueblo, Colorado State Pueblo, and then Denver. So I've known him for a long time, and he's a great coach. He's done a really good job. Denver is averaging almost 90 points a game, so they shoot the ball really well. 1 through 5, they can all kind of shoot it. So, I mean, they're playing really well. They've lost 1 game at Wyoming. So they played all games at home except for 2, so this will be their 3rd straight road game. But this will be a tough matchup for us. They're a good, well-coached team.
When you turn on the film of them, what exactly do you see?
They're just very efficient. All of them shoot the ball well. I think number 3, Lauren Levin's leading the nation in three-point percentage. I think they're leading the nation in three-point percentage. So everyone can shoot it. That's kind of what we've talked about in practice, and just making sure defensively you got to know personnel. And, I mean, it's easy. Everybody can shoot it.
What have you focused on since you last played? You had some time here.
This past week, with finals and everything, we just focused on getting back to us. We've had injuries, we've had new additions, so we really haven't had a consistent lineup. So just kind of getting the kinks out and getting back to us. That's, we had 4 practices last week that we just really focused on that, and then the last 3 have been on Denver, and it's been really well. I mean, finals week is always good because it's like you can roll up your sleeves and work on things that you can't when you have a game in 2 days. So we've been very, efficient. We've got after it. So, I feel good going in tomorrow.
How excited are you to just get back on the floor after kind of the bad taste in your mouth against UNM?
Very excited. I mean, if anyone knows what that feels like, it just doesn't go away. So the 10 days, couldn't have come soon enough. But I think that's how our entire team feels. And, we're just ready to take that next step and just get better.
You have UNM on Saturday, right?
Yes.
I mean, what did you take from that first game that maybe we can look out for on Saturday? I know you have a game tomorrow.
We talk about great start, great finish, and the first 5 minutes we started well, but then they went on a run that last 5, and knowing how it is, UNM is a good basketball team and playing in the pit. So that was a good lesson for some of our kids that have never been in that environment. But then we kind of, we competed and we played them even until the end, and then it's like great start, great finish. But, you have to take lessons. We did a great job on Jason Nunn, but now we have to stop their point guard, defensive conversion, just simple things. You can't take one thing away and not think that they're going to come back with another. There was obviously glaring negatives, but, we worked on that, and there's some positives, and just got to build off of that, which this group did.
Are they better than last year, would you say? I mean, he's been there for a year now, too.
Yeah, this is year 3 for him, and so he has a Kansas transfer, he has a Washington State transfer, and then he has a 5-year kid in Nunn. So I would say they're probably just as good as last year, if not better. I think their only loss is to Auburn at home. But I mean, again, it's not about them. We always talk about it's about us and our values and our concepts and what we do, and that's kind of how we grow from there.
Brooke also excited to get back on the floor. I know that they didn't necessarily take her out of the game, but obviously not the type of game that she's used to having. And you kind of seen the difference in the last week and how she's preparing now for Tuesday, and then again against that's very same team on Saturday.
Absolutely. I mean, Brooke is her biggest critic, so I'm sure she's felt the same way these last 10 days, just wanting to get back on the floor, and she's a competitor, so she'll be ready.
Did New Mexico do something against her that she hadn't seen, or was it just an off night?
No, and I wouldn't. she's always fairly efficient. I just think, maybe some shots she should have took. I told her I'm not ever going to get mad at her for taking a shot. That's just, because if she gets in the lane and shoots it, guess what? The next time they're going to take that away and she'll kick to Mo for a 3 in the corner. Simple things like that. Like, she has to be, the one that takes that shot, because then they'll take that away, and that's going to open up opportunities for Gia, for Mo, for Nike, for all these other kids. And so, again, she's her biggest critic. So I just look for her to just get out there and compete. She always leaves everything on the floor.
Seemed like Gia really stepped it up on a night where Brooke wasn't exactly feeling it. And I know Gia's had some big games in the past, but did you really kind of look for that, where it's just like, hey, if we can get more out of Gia and Brooke's having, her A game, then you got two pretty dynamic scorers.
Yeah. It's always, good to have them kind of going both on all cylinders. But, yeah, we have that ability with Brooke, who's kind of inside out, and Gia, who really could be that same type of player. They're both, Brooke's just really heady and smart, and Gia, she's very gifted, very explosive. So it's always nice to have that. And then just, one more or two more, which I think attention to those two will create that.